friends at home, in this video I will be doing today's science review with you. In your science book on page 251 at the top it says Unit 6 Review. And it's a good idea to put your name on the top of this because this will get torn out of your book so that you can practice. And friends in the classroom, there's a lot of us here, so it's a good idea to have our name on it so if we accidentally drop it or it gets misplaced, we'll know who it belongs to. So the first 3 words on our review, we are going to use the terms in this box. Our terms are, you okay? This first one says natural resource. Can everyone say that? Natural resource. Fantastic. This next one says pollution. Can you all say pollution? Pollution. Fantastic. And this last word says texture. Can you say texture? Texture. Beautiful. So we are now, what's up, Emma? Okay, Faith, would you mind turning off one of our lights so they can see the board a little better? Thank you, sweetheart. All right, so the first sentence, who would like to read it? Go ahead, Mateo, nice and loud so we can all hear you. Anything from nature that people can use is a blank. What is it, Drew? A natural resource. So this first set of words here, natural resource, we are going to copy onto this line. I'll spell it for you if you just want to write the letters as I tell you, and then you don't have to keep looking back and forth. It's N-A-T-U-R-A-L. That says natural. And then there's a finger space. And the second word is resource. R-E-S-O-U-R-C-E. Anything from nature that people can use is a natural resource. And then we can cross off natural resource because we won't use it twice. Who would like to read number 2 on our review? Nice and loud for me, Austin.
Waste that harms land, water, and air is called...
Waste that harms land, water, and air. Is that called pollution or texture?
Pollution.
You got it. They're going right in order today. So now we're going to write this word pollution on the line. And again, I'll spell it for you if you just want to write the letters I tell you. It's P-O-L-U-T-I-O-N. Waste that harms land, water, and air is called pollution. And Isaac, would you read number 3 nice and loud?
The way an object feels, it is it.
The way an object feels is its. And our last choice is? Texture. Good job. So on the line for number 3, you're going to write T-E-X-T-U-R-E. Texture. The way an object feels is its texture. So we've used natural resource, pollution, and texture. Make sure tonight you go over these with your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister or your uncle or your cousin or your friend. Practice them because tomorrow I can guarantee you will see these words on your science test. Let's go down now to questions 4 and 5. It says fill in the letter of the choice that best answers the question. So we have to read all of our choices in order to choose the best one. So even if one sounds kind of right, we want to make sure we read them all before we make a choice, okay? So number 4 says, which natural resource do people use to drink? A, air, B, soil, or C, water? Which natural resource do people use to drink, Mateo? Water. So we're going to fill in the bubble next to the word water, which happens to be bubble letter C. All right. Number 5 says, which is true of a river? So, Sage, we're looking for the one that is true, okay? It has land on all sides of it. It may flow into an ocean, or it does not have fresh water. Which one's true? Oh, Austin? B. It may flow into an ocean. A river doesn't have land on all sides of it. It has lands on 2 sides of it, but the other ends are water, right? Because it starts with water and it ends with water. So it can't, a lake or a pond has land all around. And it says it does not have fresh water, but it does have fresh water. So we got to go with B, which is the middle choice, that tells us that some rivers flow into an ocean. All right, go ahead and turn the page now. We're looking at the top of page 252 now. And at the top of 252, it says, Aisha sorted these rocks into 2 groups. So she's got these rocks and those rocks. Which property did she use to sort them? Did she sort them by A, color, B, shape, or C, size? Ava June? Well, they all look about the same size to me, so she didn't. Well, they all look different shapes to me. So, color, there it is. These ones are white and these ones are black. So she sorted by color. And in this choice, letter A is color. All right, let's take a look now at number 7. It says, why are soils different colors? So different dirt is different colors. Why? A, because they get different amounts of rain. B, they have different materials in them. Or C, they hold different amounts of water. Connor?
B.
Yeah, B. They have different materials in them. Depending on where we find different soil, there are different things that get broken down into and make up the soil. And that's why we have different colors. Excellent. We're going to go up to the top now and look at number 8. Numero 8. It says, the Lawns ride their bikes whenever they can. What natural resource do they protect? If you take your bike instead of your car or a bus or a train or a plane, are you protecting the air, the rocks, or the water? Sage? The air. Excellent. Because remember, when cars or buses or trains or planes drive, they put out exhaust, which is that smoke that comes out the back end, and that's caused by burning the fuel to make the engine run, and that makes the air dirty and pollutes the air. So if you ride your bike, there's no oil or gasoline being burned, so there's no pollutants going out in the air. Good job. All right, let's take a look at number 9. It says, which water safety rule are they breaking? Let's see. So they're in a boat, they're fishing. Are they breaking the rule that they should learn how to swim?
No.
Are they breaking the rule to never swim alone? Or are they breaking the rule to wear a life jacket when boating? Ava June? Yeah, see, they're not wearing life jackets. Number C. And I'm going to go ahead because it makes me so nervous seeing them not wearing life jackets. I'm going to draw life jackets on them. Because I think everybody in a boat should wear a life jacket.
Even adults.
Even adults.
Guess what? My daddy does not wear life jackets. Me neither. My parents do not wear life jackets.
All right. Okay, let's go now to the top of the next page. We're looking at number 10 now, and Landon wants to help me with 10. Number 10, Landon says, what makes up soil? Is soil A, only once living things, B, only rocks and water, or C, once living things and rocks? C, good job. Remember, they say once living things because that's a nice way of saying dead stuff. But really, it's dead stuff. It's old plants and grasses and weeds that have died and they break down into the soil. Even sometimes some animals or critters will break down into the soil, and then combine that with the rocks, and we have soil. Number 11, which body of water has land all around it? Well, that's funny. We already talked about this, Chase. Which body of water has land all around it? A lake, a river, or a stream? A stream starts at a body of water, and it ends at a body of water. Which one has land all the way around it? A lake. There you go. Think about it like this. You could stand on the shore of a lake and you could walk all the way around the lake and you'd never go in the water. But if you were walking by a river, in order to get across the river, you'd have to go through water, right? So a lake has land all around it. All right, I see a bird feeder here that somebody made from a milk carton. That was clever. Instead of throwing their milk carton away, they decided to make a bird feeder. Awesome. Emma made one of those for her dad. So it says, which word describes how the milk carton was being used? A says recycle. Remember, recycle is when we melt something down and turn it into something different. B says reduce. Remember, reduce means we use less of something, so we don't use as much water, or we don't use as much gas, or we don't use as much electricity. And C says reuse, which means we take something that we use for a purpose and then we use it for some other purpose. So Lily, which one are they doing with the bird feeder? They're not reducing. We're not using less of anything. C, reuse. Good job. So they are reusing. They didn't melt a milk carton down and turn it into something different. It's still a milk carton, but they're using it differently than how it was first used. So it's reuse, okay? When you use an item differently, that's reusing. When you completely change the item by melting it or taking it apart, that's recycling. Do you see the difference? Reusing is you don't change the item, you just use it differently. Recycling is the item gets completely changed, like a milk carton gets melted down and turned into a slide on the playground. It's completely different. That's recycle. Reuse is it's still a milk carton. I'm just using it in a different way. All right, let's look at the inquiry and big idea side. It says describe ways that people can use each of these resources. So we've got rocks and trees. How can we use rocks and how can we use trees? Or I guess it's probably soil, right? Because looks like it's got some rocks and once living things in it. So how can we use soil? You don't have to write it down. We'll just talk about it. Connor?
You can use the soil to plant trees.
You can use soil to plant trees. What else, Drew?
You can use the soil to plant flowers.
Flowers, trees, plants. Yeah, what else can we use it for? What if I wanted to build a house, but the property was all uneven and it had a lot of ruts in it? Could I use the soil to fill it in and level my property? Yeah.
I know.
What about these trees? How could I use the trees, Emma?
Fill in like if there's gaps by the trees with soil.
Yeah, you could fill in the gaps by the trees with soil, but how could I use the trees? I know you know, but I'm calling quiet friends. Sage, how could I use trees?
You can make food.
You could make what? Boots?
Fruit.
Oh, fruits. Yes, trees make fruit, so I can use them to get food. How else could I use the trees, Landon? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, go to the restroom. How else could I use the trees? Victoria?
You can use it to you can use it with wool.
Trees are wood, so we could make them into logs and we could build houses or doors or desks or anything made out of wood. How else could we use the trees, Drew?
We can make it into a fireplace.
Ooh, you could burn it in a fireplace to keep warm. Excellent. Mateo, what else?
You can make it into paper.
Yeah, we could make them into paper. The paper that we're writing on right now was made from trees. Those are excellent examples.
I thought it was made from weight.
No. Now down at the bottom it says, describe how you can reuse something at school or at home. How does reusing things help the environment? Well, I could reuse a can as a pencil holder. I could reuse a milk carton as a bird feeder. I could reuse a shopping bag, right?
Yeah.
When you go to the grocery store and you get all those bags, don't throw them away, save them and reuse them. Yeah. You're always, oh, I got to bring my snow gear to school. Guess what? I'll put it in a bag. I'll reuse the bag. That's awesome. Yeah, and how does that help the environment when we reuse things? It makes less what? It makes less what, Noah? Serafina, it makes less what?
Pollution.
Less garbage, which causes pollution, right? Excellent. All right, boys and girls, so now what I want you to do, if you are at home, you don't have to tear this out, but you may. But if you're here in the classroom, I want you to tear out these 2 pages and put them in your Keep at Home folder so that tonight you can go over these, practice all of the terms and all of the information, and then tomorrow we'll take our test. See you later, friends at home.